Welcome back to the China Law 101 video series. I'm your host, Edgar Choi from Law in a Minute. Today, we shall discuss on whether it is possible for two foreigners to get divorced in China, and how a divorce is done between two foreigners or a foreigner and a Chinese national. Two foreigners can get divorced in China, but the conditions are harsh. Either two foreigners have to be married in China before the law changed in 2017, or if both parties were not married in China, you will need to prove that the defendant's habitual residence is in China and that he or she has lived continuously in the same place for over 1 year. It is possible but quite difficult to get the courts to accept the case if both parties did not get married in China, unless both parties agree to go to court. Normally, there are two ways of getting a divorce, which are by mutual agreement or by court. If one party wants a divorce while the other party disagrees, then it will only be solved in court. For mutual agreement, both parties just have to go back to the place where they got married and file for a divorce. After 30 days, they may go back to the same registry and officially get divorced. The law here calls this 30 days a cooling down period, as a couple might just decide to get divorced out of heat of argument, and then regret the decision later on and want to get married again. Therefore, this new law was implemented 2 years ago to stop couples from making the wrong decisions and regretting it. This method of divorce applies to foreigners who got married in China before 2017 and marriages between Chinese citizens and foreigners. A divorce by court is the only way if one party does not want a divorce. Divorce lawsuits generally take around 1 year from start to finish. For a divorce to be granted, either one of the 5 conditions below have to be met, which are cohabitating with someone else or marrying someone else, domestic violence, torturing and abandoning family members, having bad habits like gambling and drug addiction and refusing to change such habits, living separately for 2 years, or complete incompatibility. The easiest way to go for is to live separately for 2 years, as the other ones are hard to prove. Incompatibility is extremely hard to define here, and judges tend to rule on a divorce not granted on the first go if you do not have any of the 4 reasons mentioned above. You can come back to court again 6 months later, and this time they will usually grant a divorce. As the Chinese saying goes, we would rather destroy 10 temples than to dismantle a marriage. Divorces are extremely punishing, especially for the child, and it is Chinese culture to try and stop a family for separation. That's the end of today's video, and I hope you have enjoyed my content. Feel free to ask me extra questions in the comment section, and I will try my best to incorporate those in my future videos. Stay tuned for our next episode on what to do if you get fired.